Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy... Sorry, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I'm the series XIII. So it wasn't my intent to show off the battle with the Omega Arcane Jelly on screen, but I just kind of ran into a... I just pulled up a save slot that... It's tough to tell which save slot is the right one. It doesn't order them. It doesn't give you the ability to name them or anything, like most console games don't. But they just kind of all show up, and they have the number of game hours, and it can be difficult to tell which one's which. But I just grabbed one, and was like, oh, I've got the ultimate weapons and shit, I can go fight at any time, but now it's like, oh, I must have saved this slot specifically because I was about to face an Arcane Jelly. So let's just finish. Let's just show this on screen after all, because it's like right here in my face.
Time to change course.
Oh, so this didn't go the way I meant for it to, because he ended up with Protect. Which isn't the plan at all.
I follow the wind. Time to change course. I won't go easy on you.
Oh, get Deep Protect back on him, damn it. So this went okay. Again, yeah, that went okay. So, 5 stars. I didn't quite do that exactly the way I meant to, but... Elemental level 4, gold milestones, whatever. Didn't get a gold one, doesn't matter. Oh, I should see what it drops. And that's gonna mean fighting you. What a jerk. I don't have to fight him if I don't feel like it. Escape. You lose time in the game, but that clock is gone now. So I can just grab this. It's a Forsaken Time. So a couple of things here. This adds an arrow, which is kind of fun. ATB recovery steals, bravery, haste. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I already beat Bunavelza off screen, guys, because I wanted to set up a New Game Plus so I could just get a few things ready to showcase. And I had bourbon and coke while I was doing it, so I was a little fuzzy. But I don't remember him ever using bravery or faith or any of that stuff, so there's probably other things I should be using instead. Strength and magic by 10%. I mean, that would be not a terrible one, but... Increases strength and maximum HP by 10%. Actually, you know what? This, increases resistance physical attacks by 20. You know, I'm just going to leave it. Never mind, I can't find anything I like better, because it still gives you ATP recovery. And I think I went with magic against Bunavelza, but I don't know how much of a difference it made. Alright, whatever. Oh yeah, I should at least see what the Soldier's Tide does. I think it was, well, Forsaken Tide allows a bit more leeway when perfect timing is being determined, making it easier to achieve. That's actually a neat idea, but I don't think it's going to come in handy against Bunavelza in particular. You're just always hanging around where I... That's where I need to go to get out. Okay, let's go this way until you despawn, I guess. I just don't feel like spending the time fighting it. That's more like it. I can sidestep you and get out of here. It might be that I was no closer to... Might have been closer to getting out the other direction, after all. Alright, so at this point I've extincted every... On this save slot, I've extincted everything except the Chimera. And now I'm having a paranoia attack about whether we're recording. I've extincted everything except the Chimera, which, you know, we'll have a later save slot where that has been done. We're not going to bother to do it on camera. I don't know how many more I'd have to kill, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure I have a save somewhere if I went looking through all of them. The point is, it's just exactly the same as a regular Chimera fight, except it's got slightly higher stats, and it's purple. And it isn't worth the effort. So let me throw down a save here. Just in case something goes wrong with this video, I know I have a save 10850 with the right amount of...
Your only hope, Kupo!
Your only Popo! It would be nice if you offered me healing for money or something. But no. We will proceed forward.
If you go any further, you won't be able to turn back, Kupo. I should go with you, Kupo. I can fight too, you know.
I can fight.
Of course you can.
You too.
But Mog, I need you to do something much more important. I need you to stay here.
You can help us out by providing a nice, quiet studio.
I want you to be our lighthouse.
Kupo?
I want you to be in every RPG. There's some place you have to climb 800 flights of stairs and maybe get a shitty treasure at the top.
Sarah will need some sort of beacon to help her find her way back here, right?
What is she doing with her
That'll
hand
be
there?
you. And when you see her, don't forget that smile.
Also, what the hell was up with doing all those freaking clock puzzles in the game that you were heavily involved in, just to, like, find out more about your past? I mean, that never went anywhere useful. So much time spent on those goddamn puzzles, and what did we learn about your people? Nothing. You just show up in this game in the forest somewhere. Ugh.
Leave it to me.
I'll ruin this game just like I ruined the last one. Open the door and face the final challenge. Yep. So you truly enter a point of no return here, and I got highly confused. I thought I had to come all the way to here to fight Chimeras at one point, and then was like glad I had to save before I went in there.
Bunavelza, God of light.
Because I couldn't
Where's
get them
the
to
human
spawn. It
strength
turns out I've
measured
been
against
really
your
unlucky.
power? It would be madness to fight you.
Yeah, macho madness. Yeah.
But I am more than a human now, because I have been remade by gods.
Assuming
I
you
will
didn't
lead
make
the
me
dead.
strong enough to fight to kill you, so...
And drag you down into the chaos.
Into the muck, the ooze, and the slime. And the scum. Oh, the Final Fantasy 1 goopy
You're
monsters.
finished.
You suck. Bunavelza, I know it's shocking, but you, as the god of a, like, religion stylized based on Roman Catholicism in a Japanese RPG, you've turned out to be evil, and I'm gonna kick your ass. No one could have foreseen this, but it's where we are. Oh, I guess you can turn around and go back. Oh, never mind. They still have the maps connected as though you could, but you can't. So you walk down this hall, and the world gradually gets more like you're in a fever dream.
He had a dream of eternity.
But when he
There
woke
was
up, he
always
couldn't
his
remember it.
desire that this world would last forever. He battled against all the forces that would bring about its end.
Like who? Or what? What did he battle against? So Bartandalus tried to destroy the world. Like he tried to... Okay, the plot of Final Fantasy XIII was that this sort of... The fal'Cie were these like kind of demigods. They were these living machines created by the gods to run the world for humanity. But like the leader of them, or one of the leaders of them, named Bartandalus, decided that he wanted to ask God if there was anything more, and in order to get God to show up, because God had like created the world and then just kind of like ducked out. And the god was Bunavelza. They referred to Bunavelza by name in Final Fantasy XIII. Bartandalus decided to create a catastrophe that would just kill millions of humans in order to get God to show up and remake the world. And while he was about it, I guess Bartandalus wanted to like check in with him. It was a weird game. But Bunavelza didn't do a damn thing to stop that. And then in the second game, the world is plunged into chaos. We find, I guess, if we didn't already understand it before, now we're finding out that all this was because Yule, the little preteen Cirrus, was being, well, she's a teenager, but she was dying and being reborn and dying and being reborn, and like purple hair Caius guy, who was way too old to be her boyfriend, but he decided he didn't like it, so he was going to like kill the goddess of death, because the goddess of death was the one who, now we understand, oh, she took the chaos is made up of the souls of the dead, and the goddess of death was the one who was in charge of taking that energy and putting it into new life so that new people could be born. But somehow Yule kept being born over and over as the same person and dying, and Caius didn't like it, so he killed the goddess of death. But the problem was that meant nobody could be born, and the chaos of people's souls just piled up into this massive vortex of chaos. Now, I don't understand the idea that the chaos is growing, because people are dying at an extremely slow rate in the world after that. But yeah, this whole... It does make some sense that the plot line is about the world. People aren't dying normally, and no new people are being born because there's a supernatural force, this death goddess, that actually is... She's really a goddess of death and rebirth, Hindu style, because she's putting souls into new babies, like recycling the soul material of the dead. And I guess babies aren't being born because it would have been way too dark and weird if babies could be born, but they were just like these soulless meat puppets. Like, that would be too fucked up. So, anyway, I guess what I'm getting at, why did I stop and go into this long monologue? Because Bunavelza has never appeared and done anything about any of this until the beginning of this game, where apparently there had been hundreds of years of no one being able to die or be reborn, and Bunavelza finally showed up, was like, okay, Lightning, you're going to be my cat's paw, and I'm going to use you to deal with the situation. And now we don't like the way he's doing it, so we're going to go kill him. But yeah, this idea that he's been actively involved in protecting and guiding the world, it does seem like he really didn't do anything with the world after he first created it until now, when he's doing something really ham-fisted to try to fix things.
But his dream was shattered. The world faced its death, and he couldn't stop it.
Because he wasn't paying
Goddess
attention.
XIII was destroyed, and the nurturing flow of life no longer seeded the world.
Yeah, I get that part.
Entropy advanced. But that's when he saw it. The swirling, invisible forces that breathed life into the universe. That gave form to raw matter.
That apparently he didn't understand previously when he created the world? JRPGs have a real tendency to cast God, because Japan is basically a country whose overall their culture is based in what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not trying to insult Japan. It's not like I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Christian, but I mean it's a polytheistic, but it's like they believe in like nature spirits and stuff. Like there are deities in Japanese mythology, but they're not like around and watch. I don't think they're still hanging around and watching over people. It's more like, yeah, there's nature spirits that are out there, and your ancestors can like see what's going on possibly. But they've always had this thing where like they didn't believe, or they were like in their fiction that has like a Christian God. They cast someone as being like this, oh, this loudmouth braggart God, but the idea that this God actually does control everything does like this plot doesn't make sense unless because it's not mocking. I'm really getting myself turned around here. It's taking the idea of this like Western style omnipotent God and showing how flawed it is. But in order to do that, they have to take away the omnipotence. So all the trappings of a religion centered around an omnipotent God are there, but God is like this God who apparently created the world has no idea how these forces work, which means that the God didn't create them, which means it's really just a super strong guy that people worship who tried to cobble together some planets and shit at one point, but isn't really a God. So, I don't know. Boonavell, like, it's a neat concept, but like the idea that lightning's going to fight God, but they can't just call it God. They call it Boonavellza because Boonavellza is actually a pretty crap God.
The life force that exists in all of us. The goddess took the souls of the dead and made them be reborn.
Mm-hmm.
She breathed life into each new generation.
Yes, but when she was destroyed, that cycle was broken.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the world was doomed.
Because
So,
Boonavellza,
God decided to do it over.
but he can't just create a new goddess, apparently.
Right. Build a whole new world.
Don't you dare
It would
close
be
your
a simple
eyes.
matter for the mighty Boonavellza.
Mm-hmm.
He has the power to shape matter and create any material thing.
He could have like an infinite number of the best item drops in the game.
But what's in our hearts and souls has no form. Great though his powers are, he cannot create souls, nor can he mold them.
So where did they come from in the first place if he's the creator god in this universe? It's like they want to have a go at the, Western style Christian God. And it's like the Catholic missionaries, I can't remember now if it was it the Jesuits or was it I think it was the Jesuits or the Franciscans. The Portuguese Catholics are the ones who brought Christianity to Japan, and it was this huge destabilizing force. It wasn't Ieyasu. I think it was one of Ieyasu's descendants who basically just decided he wanted the Christians out and put a whole lot of the people to death, including, Christians were not allowed to come into the country. People who converted were killed. It was a bad scene. But, the whole imagery of that they got of Western-style religion came from the Portuguese Catholics. But, the same things could be said. You could have a go at the Jewish God or at Allah, like any single omnipotent creator God. This game's like, yeah, the creator God, as powerful as he is, he doesn't understand how souls work. If your starting point is that there's an omnipotent creator God, it's fine if you want to say he's not God. Okay, it's fine if you want to say, yeah, people worship him as a god, but he's really just some weird guy. But no, they're like, he's the creator God, but he doesn't understand how any of this shit works, and he didn't actually create any of it. The game never just comes out and says he's not a real god. He's just like, that would be fine. Death Evan from Breath of Fire 2, one of my favorite villains in any JRPG. He's a fucking vicious, nasty, terrible demon who's created this Western-style religion around himself to trick people. That I can go with. This is just like, yeah, what if God was kind of not really God, but no one ever frames it that way. They just frame it like he's God, but we can surpass. But it's like, no, but but he's not God because never mind.
So he needed someone to help. A fisher of souls. A savior who would cast her net into the ocean of life.
Preferably somebody who's been the
Gather
hero of
those
previous games.
who were worthy of being born in the new world. She was God's servant.
She became his steed.
But not just that. God has bigger plans for me, doesn't he? Being the savior was just the first step.
God is my co-pilot.
If I could complete my task in the short time I had, then he would know
That I rule.
that I could carry out the real mission. And replace the lost goddess.
The Lost Odyssey? What the hell? That doesn't make sense. Why would he need your help? He's the
Exo is
omnipotent...
gone,
Oh, never mind,
and
you're right.
she'll never return. The new world needs a new goddess. One who can restore the cycle of death and rebirth.
Which Bunavelza can't do for
You
some
must
reason.
become the ruler of chaos, the goddess who takes the souls of the dead and places them in the hearts of the newly born.
I'll become a goddess of death, all right. But not the one you want.
I'm gonna become Urim, Sinistrel of Death.
I'll be the goddess who kills you!
But I'm Hope. So, I know I'm pausing a lot. It almost makes sense because Bunavelza, the creator god, is manipulating lightning into replacing Etro, the goddess of death. That would all make sense if not for the fact that why is she going to be able to handle souls and put them back into people and do the stuff that she used to do if Bunavelza can't figure out how to do it? Like, how is she, like, it would be one thing if it was like, you know, if it was Greek style polytheism and Zeus was like, you know, somebody killed Hephaestus, well, somebody else needs to be the god of the forge. I'm too busy, but I will bestow upon you divine Olympian power to do it. Sure, but it's like Bunavelza's like, I can't figure out how souls work, so you're gonna do this, and I'm not gonna just ask you to do it. I'm going to send you on this weird convoluted quest first. Also, this doesn't make sense because we find out that God's plan earlier is he wants to use this soul song to destroy all the chaos, which equals all of the souls, so he can make a new world full of people who don't have chaotic souls and will just do what they're told, I guess. Like, he doesn't like souls because they are chaotic, but also we're being told his plan is to make her the new goddess. I guess he just wants to flush the old souls and start with a new batch of souls, which, other than the fact that that sucks for the people whose souls are being flushed, I guess there's a whole cosmology that doesn't like, well, what happens if these people are born into new souls? Like, do these souls suffer if they're just wiped? Like, none of that follows, really. Because Lightning's objection to his plan seems to be that she was pushed into it and didn't have a say in the matter. I guess it's implied that, like, Sarah will be one of the souls that gets flushed, so this is no good. Him creating a new world and not letting them have their old friends reborn in it isn't fair. Well, anyway. Data log updated. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm not reading the data log. This would, oh, this would all make sense if I read all this, wouldn't it? Oh, I mean, I could turn this into content, reading all these. I have had story break videos for other games. Let's see. Lightning has struck the ground once more. What did she hope to gain by provoking snow? Chaos infusion bloomed. God's plan. God made a promise. He told Lightning that he would bring Sarah back if she became a servant, act as a savior. But Lightning mind, Lumina warns that even if she plans to turn against God, because right from jump, she's thinking about betraying God. She'd be well advised to play the loyal servant until the end. Lightning's being watched through Hope's eyes. Who is this young girl that suggested Lightning conspire against God? Vision of Sarah. In reward for loyal work, she gets a fleeting reunion with Sarah. But seeing Sarah again lights a fire or at least it should have, but she felt no joy. Or her emotions taken away. She lost something. Yeah, we did have that thing where she meets Sarah again, but it's like we're not even clear if it's really Sarah or just a freaking lie. Winds of Chaos. This is where we find out that Vanille is planning to do the soul song. The Guardian's Choice. Unseen Chaos is made up of the amalgamated souls of the Yules who have been reborn in time. Oh, they're all Yule souls? I thought they were other people's souls. Those Yules shared the wish to see Caius once again, and that wish drove them into a cancerous mass of hopes and dreams. The souls of the Yules are no more than a great concentration of chaos, unable to separate from one another any longer. If Caius was to be reborn in the new world, those Yules would follow them as well, and if they did, the world would soon be poisoned. Could it be the reason Caius decided to stay behind is for the sake of the world that is to come, or simply loath to leave the Yules who no longer have any physical form to return to? Okay, so I think chaos is made up of various souls, but the uncontrolled chaos of that castle are the Yules. And that makes a little more sense now, because it's like Caius is like, if I come to this new world, it's not going to work with me there. Lightning's hard. Lightning has regained the memories she lost. When did that happen? She fell into the crystal sleep as a vessel for Sarah's soul, but Sarah no longer inside Lightning's heart. Lumina has hinted as much. She towards the Lightning, telling her that she has lost more than she knows. God promised to bring Sarah back. Lightning finally reveals her intentions. God will not return as part of the bargain, then she will not stand by and watch him taken to the throne. So basically, Lightning's real reason she's pissed off at Bunavelza is because Bunavelza's like manipulating her. Like if Bunavelza was like, hey, Etro's dead, I need somebody to be the new Etro, she might have been on board. Vision of Sarah appeared as Lightning, rewarding her for her part. She looked like Sarah, and yet Lightning knew there was no soul in the thing. It was a hollow imitation. We've already had a scene like that. I guess we had another one. The False Savior. Is it right for God who cannot see into the hearts of people to decide their future? In order to truly save humanity, mustn't the Savior turn her back on such a God and reclaim the world for the people themselves? Yeah, they're implying that like, oh, Bunavelza is just going to be a jerk God. Sirius Yule, who seeks the truth of all things, speaks out of the doubts and questions to fill Lightning's heart, and she tells Lightning she cannot save anything as she is now, not mankind's future, not even her sister's soul. As she is, Lightning is no more than a complete existence held in God's palm. Yeah, they're telling Lightning that she's like an incomplete because her heart's been taken away. And then the souls all get together and form Sid Raines, who reveals that Vanille has the power to summon the souls and lead them to the new world. Why that's the case is never explained. But if the Order is there, they're going to use... yeah, so she has that power. The Order... There's no explanation for why she does, but the Order is going to get them all to come to the same place and then wipe them out using the clavis, I guess. Rain told Lightning she must make the millions of dead her allies if she was... Oh, it's like Return of the King. She's going to... I hold your oaths fulfilled. He instructs her to entrust them with her wishes through their bond. She needs Sarah to do this thing. Okay, so their souls are going to work together and help her find Sarah, because Sarah will make Lightning's heart complete again, and then she'll be able to defeat Bunavelza, I guess. Final day has arrived, and Hope showed Lightning the path she must take. He told her that Sarah was watching over her. Lightning can lead the people to the world that should be. He assured Sarah will return, and then he disappeared. Down on the surface, the soul song was beginning. Believing Hope's assurance that stopping the ceremony will bring Sarah back, Lightning headed for the cathedral. Along the way, she encountered Lumina, who told her soul song was meant to wipe the dead from history, making it so that they never existed in the first place. With an even greater conviction that she must stop the ceremony, Lightning set off on a run. Lumina remained as she was, unnoticed by any. So whatever Lumina is, she only exists in this chaos, and she doesn't get to be part of the new world. Aww. Did they explain who she was fully? I think I remember, but it might be from the ending. No Fangs, no Lightning's friends and allies all showed up at the... So had this one stupid-ass thing. Like, they fought a bunch of generic members of the Order that we could have easily defeated on our own. Soul Song was a lie. Vanille realized this. She stopped the ceremony. Brilliant light of millions of souls took flight, soaring off the new world. Vanille chose to correct the path with Fang by her side. She used up all of her power, but she did not have to give up her life as the Order would have had her do. Okay, so Vanille guy is guiding them to the new planet Bunavelza made. Handy that Bunavelza made this planet before we betray him. Judgment. Lightning turned her back on God and put a stop to the soul song. Sarah's soul appeared before her as if she had been waiting for Lightning to make the correct choice all along. Lumina, who protected Sarah all the time. Okay, Lumina was not Sarah. She was the part of Lightning's own heart that had been cut away. The part that Lightning thought she had lost. It had come back to the vessel. It had become the vessel she knew as Lumina for some reason. And inside Sarah's soul had been kept safe. Okay, so Lightning, before she had her memories taken away, using unexplained powers, for some reason, as Letha would say, for undisclosed reasons, she put Sarah's soul in a vessel called Lumina that was made from Lightning's heart. Sure. Their reunion was fleeting. Bunavelza had woken up. He had been manipulating all these events and controlling Hope while asleep, apparently. He descended upon the world in Hope's body and snatched away the souls of Sarah and Lightning's friends. I don't remember that. I guess that happened. Now she has to rescue them and free souls, Hope's soul's Hope, from the body of he shares with Bunavelza. So, okay, Bunavelza's basically taken over Hope's body. And that's why we're getting all these dialogues where Bunavelza's speaking through Hope. That actually is Hope, I guess. God waited for Lightning instead of rushing to his new world because he was not finished with her yet. He had chosen a task greater than that of Savior. She was to be his goddess. The new world cannot survive with only a God of light, just as in the old world. There must be a different balance to the light. A God that gives life needed a goddess who grants death. In God's plan, Lightning is to take the place of the fallen Etro and watch over the souls of the dead, ensuring that they are reborn and that the cycle of life continues. Without such a goddess, the new world will suffer the same fate as this one has. And so the last trial begins. It's through battle that God will determine if Lightning is worthy of taking Etro's place. I didn't quite get that. Honestly, that makes sense. And he's kind of a jerk, but it does seem like if his plans are allowed to succeed, the new world will work and hopefully not have the massive problems. At any rate, thanks to all my pausing and pontificating, we're going to have to call it a video now, but when we come back next time, we should have time for the final battle and maybe even the ending. See you then.